Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dota Yoshi, bringing to you another Dota 2 presentation. And tonight, we have Seraphic Nexus against Blood Eagles. And just to give you a heads up, I've got the in-game sound just muted currently because there was a lot of pinging going on, and I didn't really want that to affect what I'm saying or make it too difficult. So anyway, we do have Seraphic Nexus up against Blood Eagles. Seraphic Nexus are ranked 36 on the ladder, challenging Blood Eagles for the 22nd position. Seraphic Nexus currently have 3 wins and 0 losses on the season so far. Blood Eagles, on the other hand, have 13 for 4 and are experienced on this ladder. And so looking at the bans and picks on the stage onto this map so far, we have Seraphic Nexus banning out that Lifesteal and that Batrider. Lifesteal did get another nerf just recently, as of this morning, I believe. It just came live this morning, and he's not open roots. His cooldown has been increased, I believe. The tree has also taken a little bit of a nerf. His living armor now scales in damage instances. It used to be 7 across all levels. Now it's 4, 5, 6, 7. And so is, I think it was the block. It was something else. It was the image. It was the instances and something else that scaled. So that now they scale instead of just being a flat rate. And there was another hero got quite hit with the nerf bat today, but it's not currently coming to mind. There was Snakes, Treant, and another hero that's currently banned. Anyway, back into the game. We have that Treant Protector and that Weaver being picked up on Seraphic Nexus. They've banned out that Lone Druid now. Over inside of Blood Eagles, we have that Shadow Demon and Nyx Assassin. We've got the Wisp, Darkseid, and that Queen of Pain banned out. So Blood Eagles, they have their 2 supports being taken up. They have a fantastic support in that Shadow Demon. Get a Disrupt up into that Impale, and that sets you up for your carry, and the damage output could be a very potent tri-lane here if they do want to go for that tri-lane, or well, it depends who their carry is. They will definitely get a carry that will work well with these 2 heroes, and there's nothing you can choose that won't. Even if you don't have someone that doesn't have a stun or anything to follow it through, such as a PL, you can follow it through, do a lot of damage, and you'll still pick up those last hits and kills. So over on the side of Seraphic Nexus, we do see that Bounty Hunter being taken out, and Blood Eagles takes out that Puck. So Blood Eagles are currently taking out mid-hero roles and offlaners. They've got something in mind. What do they have in mind? They might want to run up Magnus, which could be a very strong possibility. Get rid of that Puck and Queen of Pain, and that allows your mid-hero a lot more viability in that mid role, not having too much problems to deal with heroes. They don't have the control over the runes. You have the chance to get there. They might even want to pick up a they pick up a Jark up there. They might even want to pick up a Dragonite, which can be run quite well in mid. Against certain matchups such as those 2 heroes, he does lose. However, those 2 heroes being taken out, he can get a really good start in that mid lane. He's not too effective. He can hold his own, but he's not great until he hits that level 6. Once he picks up his Dragon form, he's off and running. He'll be fine. So we do see that Gyrocopter being picked up on Blood Eagles. We should be seeing that ran a part of the tri-lane. You have your Nyx Assassin, your Disruption, and then you've got that lots of damage coming out from that Flat Cannon. And there could be a First Blood easily down on this bottom lane. On the side of Seraphic Nexus, you've gone for this more defensive lineup. You have your Treant Protector with his global presence of that living armor. Then you have your Weaver. He's got the Sakuchi. He'll get away. He shouldn't die. Once he hits that level 6 and he has these Backtrap up and running, don't expect him to be dying anytime soon. Especially once that Treant Protector's living armor is applied. And we will be seeing that Rubik now picked up, and I'll just now enable in-game sounds. So we do have sound once again for all you viewers at home. Hopefully we do have sound and my broadcasting system has not quite ruined itself. And oh, my co-caster who I was waiting for tonight just came online as soon as this match started, so we won't be able to have my co-caster online, and that's a little bit unfortunate. However, things happened, and you know, can't always be online at the times you need to. And anyway, on the side we do have that Clockwork, fantastic offline pickup. He's got an awesome initiation. You come in with your hookshot, you've ruined and screwed up their entire team position. You throw down those cogs. It limits where they can go. If they get too close to the action, they get pushed back, mana burned, and take damage. It's a great positioning spell, and a segregation spell. You segregate the entire team, and they have to be careful. They try and get too close to you, it just ruins everything. So Clockwork's fantastic pickup. Run him in the offlane. If he's against a Weaver by himself, he shouldn't die. He'll throw down his wall. Weaver, who's got a fairly short attack range and will want to be close using that Sakuchi, will be able to be pushed away, and Clockwork should be quite fine. So they're looking at the next pick being picked up will be a mid hero. We'll see who they want to run here. It will be looking to be a semi carry they'll be wanting to pick up in that mid lane. You might see a TA, could even possibly see an Invoker as a very off chance kind of pickup. We do see that Luna being picked up on Seraphic, and that's a really nice pickup. She's got a lot of damage early and through the late game. She pops her Eclipse, she pops a Lucent Beam, and then that right there is enough to kill one or two heroes by themselves if there's no creeps around. So she shouldn't be, if she does try and get ganked, she can just pop that off and it'll do a lot of damage. Nyx Assassin, however, he can at least avoid one of those beams thrown down. With his Carapace, he only takes a max of 4 hits, or is it 3? Can be hit a number of times. That's not helpful. Max hits 4 times. So Nyx can avoid at least one of those and get a stun and take off. So it's a nice pickup. Shadow Demon can disrupt, avoid it all, and throw out those illusions to help soak up some of that damage. So I feel this might be a little bit of an off choice picking up the Luna. They're looking at this late game pushing style. Well, I shouldn't say pushing. Luna does offer a lot in the terms of pushing with her Lucent Beams. Oh, not her Lucent Beams. With her, what are they called? Moonglaves. My mistake. Oh, I'm all over the place tonight. With her Lucent Beams. And I just said it. With her... everything's going off for me at the moment. I had a second go-caster that just messaged me. Oh, that's not what I want. Anyway, with the Luna, she does have her Moonglaves. They'll bounce, they push lanes to get a lot of thump, and late game, they'll do a lot of damage. You can bounce it off the buildings, and then hit all the supports and damage in the back lines. So Luna will be a really nice pickup. The bands coming out will be the OD and that TA. Both teams are looking for their mid roles. Who will they pick up? The usual roles you see with that Quap, Puck, TA, and OD are all taken out. So we'll be seeing possibly some unusual picks up running this mid lane, which is nice to see a little bit of freshness in this current game of Dota 2. Not the same Puck versus Quap or the good old Invoker versus anyone, because Invoker with his Ice Snap just wins lanes. So we will be seeing a very nice new pickup being run for that mid lane awareness. But if we do look at the lineups, the tri-lane Blood Eagles are screaming aggression. They will be wanting to hit into this mid game timing. They have the very good early game ganking potential of that Nyx Assassin Shadow Demon. Then they have Gyrocopter. He'll pull out a lot of damage throughout the entire game. Early game with that Rocket Barrage, mid game with that Flat Cannon and his ultimate, and late game with purely just his Flat Cannon will do a lot of damage to the entire side of Seraphic Nexus for 6 shots at level 4. So Dragonite is being picked up for Blood Eagle. This is what I thought they were going to go for. They took out those heroes and they're going to pick up the Dragonite. He's really strong early on. Once he hits level 6 he gets even better. This almost would be called a greedy build, however they needed another hero such as Dragonite. He's tanky, he'll survive these fights, and he'll be able to burst out a lot of damage. Seraphic Nexus, they're going to be looking at picking up a hero very shortly. I'd almost like to see a team fight potential, but then they won't have the damage output. They've got the Weaver and Luna, so they're looking for their third position role. It won't necessarily be the first or second, as Weaver and Luna do currently occupy that. So we'll see who they want to go for here. Maybe we might see a Storm Spirit if we're lucky. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of Storm Spirit play myself. Always pulls off some very big plays, zipping around the map. He's such a fun hero to watch. So we will be seeing what Seraphic wants to pick up very shortly. But as I said earlier, Blood Eagles, they're going to be playing aggressive. Seraphic, they're more of this defensive, wait and find your opening style. They do pick up the Invoker, so 2 very nice heroes to watch battle it out in that mid lane. Invoker with his very varied skill set. We'll see how he wants to run. I would be liking to see a Cold Snap and maybe going for Wex as well and getting some EMPs, because that will ruin Dragonite. He can't get into that ultra form. But then again, if you go for this Exhort build and go for Wex, you can grab some of those minions and do a lot of negative armor, and that's where Dragonite gets all his tank ability from, is the armor that his passive provides. So to introduce the game and the teams, over on the side of Blood Eagles we do have the captain playing on that offlane Clockwork will be, and DK is scrub on that mid lane, or should be mid lane, will be okay on the Dragonite. The supports are followed by Jackal, who will be playing the Shadow Demon, who I actually believe is the captain, so my mistake there. So Jackal will be playing the captain on that Shadow Demon. We will have on the fellow support Blood Dot Resonance, so just Resonance on that Nyx Assassin. And finally, over on the Gyrocopter, we have Power, or Power. I'm not quite too sure how he likes to pronounce his name. Over on the side of Seraphic Nexus, we have the captain will be playing on that True Protection, Mr. Fallen. He'll be rotating top to join his fellow teammates of Rubik, being played by Scum, and the stand-in of KQT on that Luna. On that mid lane in Foka, we will see Kim's Dota, and finally on that off lane we will have You Got It Weaver. And so just have a look at the little items on the team. Do we have any revelations? We do have revelations up on Jackal for this Weaver, so this tri-lane should be very effective against this Weaver, shut down any early farm and potential defensive items they can pick up later in the game. On the top lane, however, this is what they're going to be happy with. They don't want to play into this tri-lane, they want to get the farm up on the Luna. So they're going to be leaving this Weaver on the offlane. Even though he's up against a tri-lane, we may see a tri-lane rotation coming from Blood Eagles to get this Nyx Assassin and Shadow Demon up at top lane to be more effective, to help Clockwork. He shouldn't die, not against a Trent and a Rubik. However, I don't think he'll get too much farm either, but that's not what you really care about in Clockwork. You have those rockets to pick off those creeps when you can, and then you have those cogs to be able to survive. And Rubik, he needs to get into quite a decent range to get that lift off, and those cogs are usually more than enough to shut down any aggression. So as with Luna, Luna's got a very short attack range and should be doing pretty fine. Well, we'll have trouble. Tongue twister. We'll have trouble against this Clockwork trying to get in close once those cogs are popped. And Clockwork did go for the flares to try and get any last hits as possible, so he's got to play very defensive, or they will pick up down on bottom lane. We do have an aggression onto this Weaver. Weaver gets that living armor popped onto it, it's not too much going to happen. So there you see a little bit of aggression coming up from Disruption. The Impale wasn't there to follow up. If that Pale wasn't there, we could have had very big problems for this Weaver. However, Weaver is lucky. He does dodge a bullet and doesn't take too much harassment. He does take a Tango and get living armor popped in, it'll be fine. Dragonite's doing pretty solid start at middle. He cleaned up almost the entire creep wave. He's got 4 creep kills and 1 deny. Rubik just keeping this Clockwork back off these lanes. So don't look to see too much aggression at the start of the match. Both lanes have their very safe offlaners. If we do see any rotation aggression, it should be coming from the side of Blood Eagles, as they have the perfect duo of roamers of the Shadow Demon Nyx. However, unfortunately, neither of them currently have smoke, so we might not see a rotation for a little bit while, and the pull for them is not going to be quite enough. They're going to just miss it. Jackal pulled a little bit too late, and the lane's going to push, which Power's not going to be too happy about. He's not going to be able to sit underneath his tower picking up these kills, but he won't take too much more damage from those creeps. So I guess that's the positives. The next, they might look to push this tower and do a little bit more damage while there's double lane of creeps are here. Weaver, however, Weaver's going to get a lot of this XP, soak it all up. Not going to be too much of a worry. The supports are rotating around, but Weaver decided he will back. They're missing from the map. He knows that the creep wave was pulled, so he expects to be a little bit cautious, especially with this double wave. So You Got It, playing quite well, knows what's up. Wizard Beam strikes down onto that Clockwork, who's unfortunately not being able to get these last hits under the tower. Power just make it a little bit too difficult for his 63 damage, which is quite a lot at this early game. Scumbag phone, which is quite a lot at this early game, but it's hard to do against a tri-lane such as this, especially if Luna throwing out those Lucius beams to do a little bit of harassment. But those rockets are one that's going to lift him up in the air, throw him back with a fade ball. The walls are doing a lot of damage. The sunshine comes down. It hits. He's got 200 HP. Can Luna find it? No, she can't. She's going to have to back off. The supports take a little bit of damage. And that Clockwork. This is the fantastic thing about Clockwork. You have those power cloaks. Throw them down. And there goes any kind of initiation onto you. Especially from a melee hero. A short range hero from that Luna. And then Rubik, who's that mid-range kind of hero with his lift and fade bolt. So Clockwork's going to survive another day. He's going to go home, pick up a little bit of health. He might want to pick up his boots. He might go for another route. Might see him go for an early bottle to try and keep his sustain in that lane. He does unfortunately miss those creeps, so he's not going to pick up a nice little creep. One little thing I don't like about Blood Eagles so far is they're not keeping this Weaver down. you have your Rev Ward in lane, so you've got quite a lot of vision keeping them off these creeps. Unfortunately, their pulls haven't been the best. I mean, they did just get up one camp and a bit of the second camp, so that camp was more than enough. That was perfect. They did deny one creep wave. However, they're not keeping this Weaver from getting this XP. He's level 4. If you're doing fantastic, you could probably keep him down in level 3, maybe late level 2. And hurting Weaver with XP early on is going to hurt him into the mid game, because for one, he's not going to have those defensive items, and if he doesn't have the defensive items, he doesn't have those defensive skills. And so it's just that much easier to try and find a gank and kill off onto, because that Sakuchi, it's got a 6-second cooldown, I believe. Yeah, 6-second cooldown at level 4. So if he can get level 7, he has his time lapse and a 6-second cooldown where he's only visible for 2 seconds. And if you don't have those wards down, he's nigh impossible to kill. Now to rotate over into the mid lane, our Dragon Knight is sitting on 16 creep kills. Okay, doing quite well against an Invoker who's going for that Exhort Quaz build of, and that Cold Snap Sunstrike. And speaking of that Invoker, he's sitting on 25 creep kills for 9 denies. He's the highest creep kills in the game. He's doing a very nice job in our farm of those creep kills. However, at the same time, their carrier of that KQT is doing a fantastic role himself. He's got 26 creep kills up on top lane here. Most of those would possibly be under that tower, as quite a lot of stacking has been quite well by Seraphic. They're on top of their stacking. Their Treant Protector's doing well at throwing as much heals around the map as possible. We have a smoke gank coming up by Burglars. They're rotating mid. They're going to look for this gank onto Kim's Dota. They might be able to find it. Jackal, he's waited. They're looking. They might rotate through the river. They don't want to go past tower, and we have a little bit of Cold Snap being thrown onto the Dragon Knight. Cold Snap is down. They might look to come in while that Cold Snap is down. But they're waiting. They're biding their time. Smoke's going to be running out in about 10 seconds. Will they be able to get in time? Will Kim's Dota know? Has the Weaver called it off the map, and the gank is not going to go through? So unfortunately for Blood Eagle, they're going to have to back and look for another opportunity. I'd almost like to see them rotate top and try and hit someone up top while they're not paying attention, especially if this aggressive Rubik who's trying hard to keep this Clockwork off the lane. If there was a rotation up top, you would easily find this Rubik out of bounds, and you might find a kill. Luna can do a fair bit, but she's about to hit level 6. When she hits level 6, she can't do anything against Luna. At the same time, I would either like that or these supports. They're doing nice pulls at the moment. They've got an Alpha Wolf, so that should be most of that creep wave denied. However, I'd like to see them keep this Weaver out of lane more than what they are. This Weaver's been able to grab these kills, sitting on 10 creep kills himself, and it's not major by anything, but it's quite nice to be able to sit on this offlane against that tri-lane. Clockwork, on the other hand, he's got 7 creep kills. He's picked up boots, so he should be nigh impossible to gank at the same time, unless he gets very unlucky, gets caught out, and then the Eclipse is being popped. Weaver's solution to scouting through that jungle, he finds Jackal where the 2 supports are, so he's going to know it's a little bit safe. He's going to come up, maybe look for a few more lost hits and creep kills, as he knows it's going to take about 10 to 15 seconds for this creep. Up at top lane, we have that Rubik getting ready to pick up DK. DK Scrub. DK Scrub takes a few hits. He pops off the battery, so he's been lifted up, and what a pause. We see a DC by Invoker. This is a little bit unfortunate. Tactical pause, not really. They've picked him up, and now DK Scrub is in a lot of problems. We're going to see possibly a lift back onto the same spot, or maybe back a little bit. Cogs will be thrown out shortly after. But will there be enough damage coming out? Luna's still up in this top lane. She's switched over to a Int Tread. She wants to throw out this Lucid Beam. But then she's almost level 6. If she get one more creep kill, possibly 2 creep kills, she has that Eclipse, and that'd be 1 dead Clockwork. Have they initiated early? They found that Clockwork out of bounds. Can they capitalize? Will DK Scrub be able to get out of there in time? We'll find out after this short break. Now I wish I really had elevated music or some kind of music. Maybe a little bit of smooth jazz to be playing at the same time. We have a little bit of drawing on the map from the Treant Protector. We should see Treant Protector come around. Once he throws out that Lich Seed, it's doing 45 damage per pulse, and it pulses 3 times. 3 times, that's 120, 135 damage. That is hardly a dent onto DK Scrub. I think DK Scrub's going to be able to get out pretty fine. He'll make a few steps this way, throw out his cogs, and he should be out quite fast. We do have treads up on Luna, but I don't think her move speed will be enough to catch up to a Clockwork, who's also got base boots and has got only 20 less movement speed. So Clockwork should be quite fine and safe and dandy up in this top lane. Highest farmer of the game will be Luna. She's sitting on 2.6k gold. She's having a very fun time. We do see a reconnection coming in from this Voka. So we just wait for the game to commence. Just giving a little bit of second to get everything sorted back into possibly their Skype, TeamSpeak, Raid Call, whatever they are feeling like using. So many things these days. I'm glad Skype finally got a little bit of IP protection in their beta client. Desperately needed it. And they unpause. So we'll watch this top lane. What will happen? Lift up, throw him back into the sun. Lich needs to pop, but those cogs come out. We got the Sunstrike. We have one more auto attack and it's fallen. First blood goes to that Treant Protector. Clockwork just got away. Fantastic Sunstrike coming out by Kim's Dota, doing about 300 true damage to that Clockwork, and that was more than enough to finish off this Clockwork. Clockwork just got away. If that final auto attack from that Treant Protector didn't come through, we would have had a Clockwork who would have survived death. However, that's not going to be the case. Treant Protector's got his boots up and running. He's now, I would say, working towards his arcane boots. He might want to go for a fast mech as well at the same time. Down in bottom lane, we have that tower going to be starting to be pushed. Flat cannons pop. A lot of damage coming through. Weaver just doing a little bit of damage with his Sakuchi. And Weaver's going to get hit by the first pull down of that cooldown. We're charging back in with that flat cannon and the rocket barrage. He's got his Weaver and Sakuchi on his way out of there. I don't know why I said that. He pops himself a big turn around. He's going the wrong way. We see his Treant Protector. He throws out the disruption. Don't have enough damage. Sunstrike's coming through. Sunstrike does a lot of damage onto this Jericho. Not onto Jericho. Onto the Shadow. Then they turn around. They go onto Invoker. Invoker cold stops around. Finds that kill on the Shadow. Now Invoker's on a lot of trouble. He throws down that Meatball. Meatball's doing a fair bit of damage, but not enough damage. Nyx Assassin's got to get out of there with 50 HP. And Jericho's just going to scatter his way out of there as well. So Nyx Assassin. Oh, that's the wrong button. Nyx Assassin picks up his kill, so does... Oh, Nyx Assassin got both those kills. So Jericho's not going to be able to grab one of those kills, which is a little bit unfortunate. But he got 2 assists, he shut dead. They got this Weaver, and that's one of the most important parts. They only lost the Shadow Demon for an Invoker and Weaver. That is a fantastic trade on the side of Blood Eagles. Invoker came a little bit overzealous there. Thought he could take the 2 heroes. However, they had more than enough damage, especially with that rocket barrage coming out from that Gyrocopter. So if we do want to look at my scoreboard, which is not currently working, just a little mention that I did the tutorial today and just reset all my hotkeys, so I'm sorry if my hotkeys are a little out of whack. So on the scoreboard we have the XP in favour of Seraphic Nexus. Sorry, I just had a little mind blank. And the gold graph is also in favour of Seraphic Nexus. They've got a lot of farm going on in between their 2 heroes of that Invoker and that Gyrocopter. However, at the same time, they did get that first blood, so that helped Treant Protector throw out some wards by the looks of it and get his boots up and running. However, the supports on the side of Blood Eagles, they're very poor. I mean, look at this Shadow Demon. He's got nothing compared to reliable items in his stash or in his inventory stuff. They're all consumables. So sitting on 100 net worth, which is very, very harsh for a Shadow Demon. I'd like to see him eventually get his boots up. That would help him out with his ganks a lot more often. But it's nice. Now down on bottom lane we have a Weaver. He's very overstated. His rocket cooldown comes down. It will just miss out. The ward has been popped. They're going to be looking for this Weaver. Weaver doesn't allow to Sakuchi. He needs 3 more mana, 2 more mana, 1 more mana. He's got a Sakuchi. But will he go? Will they be able to find it? He goes into the trees. Will they know he's in the trees? Jericho's is coming in. He's looking for him. And they're going to find him. He's going to pop out. They're going to have a few auto attacks coming around. The support should be rotating back down. Shadow Demon's got another disruption up very shortly. He's going to throw out that soul capture. It does land with the Shadow person coming through. Few more auto attacks and pop. There goes the Weaver. Shadow Demon picks up some extra gold. And now he's going to have his boots in very shortly. In mid lane, we've got a gank coming on to DragonKnight. DragonKnight pops his ultimate. We see the Invoker throwing down that meatball on Deafening Blast. And we will see the Invoker falling shortly after. So a very nice rotation coming in from Scum. Finding that DragonKnight out of position. A little bit too far up. There was no wards up on the top lane. I don't think a smoke was popped. If it was a very nice timed smoke to come in and find that DragonKnight. So the Weaver for the DragonKnight, I think a trade does go in favour of Seraphic Nexus because the DragonKnight is a lot more important than his Weaver at this stage. Weaver's just in it for those XP. He doesn't have any real items on his name, but that DragonKnight, it will become very predominant late game. We have 1 dead Clockwork. That Eclipse, extremely more than enough to find a kill right there. We have a TP by OK to the top lane, so... And now he's going to start walking to the mid. That's 135 gold wasted. A lot of XP and farm time also going to be taken out into the account here. So that's a very harsh hit for this DK coming top to try and save that Clockwork. How the Clockwork was dead from the get-go. Picked up, clips, no creeps around. So at the moment, we have Seraphic Nexus. They're in a very comfortable position at the moment. Their Luna, she's had free farm the entire game. She's got a kill. She's got an assist also to her name. Not too much is happening right now. So she can just keep farming up. She's got a lot of free time, XP, and gold to her name. Down bottom, we have a little bit of initiation. Weaver's looking for the kill onto the Gyrocopter. He's coming through. He's going to hit with the Sakuchi. He's going to hit. He's going to get a few more auto attacks. Great turn by the Gyrocopter not to get hit by that Sunstrike. Weaver time lapses. He's coming in. He doesn't have that Gemini. If he got that one auto attack with that Gemini, he would have found a kill, but he's going to turn back around. We have Nyx Assassin. Hits the Vendetta. Doesn't have enough for Impale, so Weaver's going to get out of there. That's a little bit unfortunate for that Nyx Assassin. Rocket comes flying through. Almost finishes off that Weaver. However, Cold Snap's going to be popped off onto that Nyx Assassin. Not going to be able to find a kill there. We have Shadow Demon rotating around. It's going to not disrupt. Going to turn around, just scare her off, save his fellow support's life. So, Weaver gets on out of there by the skin of his teeth. Nyx Assassin, unfortunately, not having any one charges to get that little bit of extra mana, throw out that stun. If that stun was there, that rocket would have fished off that Weaver in the end. Ooh, so we got a little bit of action all around the map, which is what we want to see. So far, as I said just previously, Seraphic Gaming, they're in a very nice position. They went for this defensive lineup, and it's paying off for them. They can sit back, they can farm up, and if this Luna can get a lot of farm, she's going for a very early BKB. She can get this BKB, there goes half the damage coming outside of Blood Eagles, and they won't have any stuns or any ability to lock down this Luna. We have the lift up Fade Bot, Lucian Beam thrown out, but unfortunately they weren't close enough to be able to continue to capitalize onto that situation. We have rotation coming in from the DK with that haste, and then Nyx Assassin pops that Vendetta. It's going to come through, he's going to have more than enough to throw that Impale. But we had a fantastic ward placement coming in by Seraphic Nexus. They saw all of this, they saw the haste to DK, they saw that Nyx Assassin pop that Vendetta. So Seraphic Nexus, they're in a fantastic position. They know everything that's coming against them. And then they saw that DK rotate back to middle. So they might even want to look at coming out here and finding a kill. They found this Nyx Assassin whose Vendetta's running out. And now they're going to see this poor Clockwork out of bounds. Well, not out of bounds, but in a territory he shouldn't be in right now. Especially with these two supports looming around. And now they're going to start making a rotation and smoke gank of their own. They're all going to come in. They've got a little bit of a ping coming on the map. They've got a little bit of squiggle. Will they be able to find the kill? They're going to pop this, see this region, they're going to spot it out, but you have TP support coming in by Clockwork. They suspect something's up. Blood Eagles are in a prime position to be able to turn this around. We have that Yule Scepter being picked up on the Invoker, and that Yule Scepter is going to be very strong, especially with Invoker going for all the points into Exhort. You're going to see a Meatball Sunstrike Deafening Blast combination, and that will one-shot people, that will insta-give people. That's like a railgun from Quake. It will take you out, make you into lots of little giblets, and Invoker will be able to take off heroes before the fights even started. Down and bottom lane, they're looking for this Weaver, but that living armor, it does a lot of heals and a lot of damage mitigation. Now we have TP support coming in by the Trent, he's coming down. They've spotted out this Invoker. They're going to see a hookshot just miss onto this Invoker. That's a little bit unfortunate for DK Scrub. DK Scrub's going to not pop off that Cogs, which was a little bit disappointing. He needed to pop those Cogs. We have the Gyrocopter. The cooldown's going to hit onto. A lot of damage by that Rocket Barrage. We're going to see turn around. Invoker's popping that Sunstrike. Sunstrike's going to hit. It's going to do a lot of damage to that Gyrocopter. Nyx Assassin turn around. It's going to be searching for that Invoker. Will be able to find out. He doesn't have enough for this. Nyx Assassin, he needs to pop off his clarity and get that mana, but it doesn't need to. That Dragonite's going to throw out that Dragon Breath. It's going to turn around, throw out the stun onto that Weaver. Weaver's turn around Shikuchi. He's got 18 HP. Pops that magic wand, and he's going to survive on out of there. We're going to see Nyx Assassin falling in the backlines to that Weaver. Trees on the run from that Dragonite. We see Clockwork picking off that Ruby. He traps that Weaver in. That's not where he wants to be. He's not going to be able to survive this. Weaver's going to find that kill. We got Shadow Doom coming in. He's going to be looking for the kill onto that Weaver. Weaver's going to Sakuchi on his way out of there. He turns around into the Dragon. Dragonite's got more than a stun. He throws out the stun. He doesn't. He throws out the breath and finds that kill. Fantastic play by that Dragonite. He got a triple kill. He found that tree and protecting the backlines. He then finds that Weaver, picks up the killing spree gold of 356, and now sitting on 1200 gold. That is a kickstart to his economy, and it's very much what they need to come back into this game. It was a nice trade by Bud. However, they did lose that Gyrocopter. DK got all that farm to come back into this game. So DK now picks up his level 11, so he's now got a splash damage on his attack, which will help very much on farming and damage late game. We have that Nyx Assassin who's not going to be able to find that Invoker. Invoker's playing very cautiously. He's just out of tower range. However, the Vendetta, it will run out very shortly. Will he try and rotate around? He just revealed himself on the tower, so Invoker knows that Nexus Assassin is looming. We have that Shadow Demon, however, I should say, is also smoked. Nexus Assassin spots out that Rubik with that daytime vision, so they should negate their aggression. Invoker's looking. He's gonna spot out this Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's on his way out of there. That could have been very, very kill worthy for Invoker. Shadow Demon's still here. Might see him, not gonna see him. He knows something's up. He knows the Shadow Demon's around here, but he just can't find him. Jackal's gonna make on his way out of here before he dies to the supports rotating in from Seraphic Nexus. Seraphic Nexus, they're doing very well so far in the game. This defensive lineup is paying dividends. They're taking these fights on while their Luna has been free farming herself to victory. She's now got that Helmet the Dominator working up and that BKB. She won't be dying anytime soon. And if we look over on the carry side of Blood, they've got Gyrocopter. He's going to be searching for Shadow Blade. He's going to be hit with the Cold Stone. Sunstrike's coming down. Sunstrike does a lot of damage. They need a few more attacks. Cooldown's been popped. We might see Gyrocopter fall. No, he's not going to fall. With great hookshot coming in by DK Scrum. He's going to find a kill. Trident Protector throws out that ult. But he's not going to be able to do so much. He's going to sacrifice his life for the greater good. Soul Catcher comes out and then a Jewel Breath comes flying through. Or Breath of Fire, not Jewel Breath. I'm thinking of Jakiro. So, 2 kills got on the way to Blood. Once again, losing their Gyrocopter for 2 supports. Is it worth it? It's questionable. Down on the bottom town, we have Weaver. He got very aggressive. He should not have been there. He came in to find kills, which was not available to him. We have full life heroes all over the place. He came in to find what he could. He found nothing. Sacrificed his life. And now, Blood, now that's a trade. You want to take 3 heroes for only Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter's big in its own right, but being able to find those other kills, that's fantastic. So Blood Eagles are pulling themselves back into this game. If we want to have a look over on that XP graph, so they're pulling it back. They're losing in terms of XP because they're taking these 5-man fights, and it's been fairly even. While this Luna of KQT has been farming otherwise, that's why the XP and gold graph are in favor of Seraphic Nexus, which is fantastic for Seraphic Nexus. However, Blood, they've shown they can take these team fights. DK is starting to get a little bit of farm going up on him. However, he's still 3k gold behind the Luna. So, that's a little bit worrisome, especially since Luna will be able to do a lot of damage later on in this game with the cleave, or not cleaves, with the bounces of her glaives. So we will be seeing this Nexus Assassin. He's got his Vendetta. He spots out one in the jungle. And if he sees one support, he should expect the second support. So they know something's going on in this bottom lane. And from that forces the Gyrocopter back off the tower. Playing a little bit of defensive. He doesn't want to throw. Great hookshot into those cogs. But Invoker one-shots him. Basically insta-gives. We see the stun coming up, but he doesn't have enough damage. He's got to back off. He doesn't have that Dragon Form up and running for that slow and AoE onto that Invoker. So Invoker shows why you don't want to get trapped anywhere with Kim's Dota. He's got a lot of damage coming out from that Sunstrike, Deafening Blast, Meatball combination. That was 800 health that just completely disappeared from that Clockwork. So now, over on the bottom lane, we do have that rotation. They've got rid of that tier 1 tower. That's more space for KQT to farm up. Less worries in the world for TP support coming in from Blood Eagles. And Seraphic, they're in a fantastic position. Blood, they need to find a few more pickoffs. Their aggressive early game lineup has not been paying off for them. The DK and Gyrocopter haven't been able to find the farm to keep up against Seraphic Nexus with their defensive lineup. And it seems to be they've got a little bit more rotation coming out from them. They've had the Rubik and that Trident Protector rotating around a little bit more than the Shadow Demon and Nexus Assassin. Nexus Assassin has been popping that Vendetta to find whatever he can. But unfortunately, he has not been able to find any heroes out of position, and when he has, they've been grouped up in groups of 3, possibly 4. And so, very great, well-played team coordination coming out by Seraphic at the moment. Blood, they're a little bit struggling behind. They need to find picks and go for some pushing. They need to get some towers to level out this gold deficit. And there's my grass, F6 and F7. So if they need to get a few more towers and then they can pick up in that gold, the Dragonite will be able to catch up, and the supports, they might be able to get maybe a Bracer up on Jackal. But without these towers, they've lost points in that map position. And I've got a hiccup that won't come out. We have a hookshot into the mid lane. It hits onto the Rubik. Rubik instantly lifts. No cogwells being able to be placed by that clockwork. We do hear a Sunstrike coming down. Disrupted. Great disruption, saving that Dragonite from any potential Sunstrike. And that negates any aggression. Seraphic's going to back off a little bit. And this Invoker is going to wait till his Meatball, Deafening Blast, and Sunstrike is off cooldown. Dragonite's going to be doing a little bit of damage. Weaver's coming in, trying to do whatever he can. Ward has been placed down. Rubik's in a lot of trouble. He's out of place. He gets hit by the Impale, and he will fall to that Mana Bender from that next assassin. Great Terrain Protector off that Overgrowth being popped. It's going to keep him all into place. Kunin's going to pop, but he was disrupted. Weaver's going to get out of there. He pops that Time Lapse. He needs a few more auto attacks. One more auto attack, and we have a dead Weaver. A very nice pick off on that Clockwork. 2 dead. Now they're going to be able to pick off this mid-tier 1 tower, and this is what Blood needs. They need to find these kills. The next assassin's coming in the background. Dragocopter picks him off the Rocket Branch. We see the Deafening Blast coming out, destroying any possible auto attack chance from the Dragocopter. Dragocopter turning around. We got a nice dual scepter into the Sunstrike auto attack, and it finishes off that next assassin. So 2 for 2, and we will see Clockwork actually falling off somewhere onto the top lane. He falls off. So he disappeared from mid lane, went to top to save that tier 2 tower, and gets picked off by that Luna. Now we see in the mid lane, we have that Gyrocopter doing a lot of damage to this Invoker. Invoker's going to get his way out of there. Level 4 Rocket will be able to do enough damage. No, it doesn't. One more auto attack would have found a kill for that Gyrocopter, doing 117 damage per auto attack. So Invoker escapes the bullet there. They're throwing down their own counter ward. Should be in range for this ward here. And they're going to be getting a little bit of position. We have a ping coming out from the side of Blood Eagles, pinging that there is ward up on this cliff. So unfortunately for Blood Eagles, they rotated heroes to that top lane, whereas that Luna was consistently farming. And this is fantastic by Seraphic. They're playing the push style, where Luna is consistently farming, getting up her items to reach that unstoppable force into that late game. The rest of their team so far have been able to take 4v5 fights and come off with trades of their favouring, where it's been equal trades or trades into their position. And Blood Eagles, they need to start fighting trades in their favour. They need to pick off these heroes. They can't split up like that. They lost the Clockwork, unfortunately, who went top, who got Eclipse. They got a 5-man smoke up now, and this is what they need. Can they find a kill? However, there's a Rev Ward here. It's going to spot out anything. They're going to come in. There's going to be a 5-man fight. BKB is pop. Sunstrike's coming down. It does a lot of damage into that Meatball. Definitely strike, and that's a lot of damage coming out by the Invoker. Invoker team wipes with a quad kill. That is fantastic play coming out by that Invoker. He did all that damage by himself. Luna did a little bit of glaze, but that Sunstrike Deafening Blast and that Meatball, it absolutely decimated Blood Eagles. Fantastic play coming out by Invoker. A little bit of low play coming onto that Luna, who's been farming all game. I think the MVP, though, in my books, goes to Kim's Dota. This very aggressive, high damage output, Quaz and Exhort combination just absolutely won that team fight, and that allowed them to get one tier 2 tower. They're going for the tier 3 tower, and then they're going to get wrapped. There's no currently ults up and available by Blood. There's DK's ults down. Next Assassin's Van's down. Cooldown of that cooldown just came off for Blood Eagles. They've popped the glyph. A few seconds in, hookshot comes in, Thrax goes down. Do we see Cox? Cox hasn't been popped. Overgrowth is popped. 2 dead. Weaver and that Jericho. They're coming around. Vendetta into that Carapace. Got to see Rubik just surviving on a little bit of H. Rockets come flying through. Who's it on? It's going to be on that Invoker. If it doesn't have the cost. Great heals. Fire Breath coming through, killing off that Rubik. We're going to see a counter kill into that Invoker. So we're going to see Invoker gets hit up and then cold snapped away. Overgrowth. OP. Ice Frog Priest nerf more. But no, that was a fantastic Overgrowth popped onto Kim's Dota, keeping him alive, and then cold snaps his way to victory. And then Dragonite went for that Jewel Spread. He's not going to be able to fight it. He knows the Invoker's around here somewhere. And then Invoker comes out, throws out the cold snap. DK, he's got stunned, but he's not doing any damage to this living armor. He doesn't have enough damage to break the stacks. And he comes out and finds that kill onto the Invoker. The living armor finally did disperse, and once that living armor popped, Invoker was squishy like a slice of bread. Even though that's not that squishy, but he was like jello. So Luna will come in, be that part of the cleanup kill and fight that next assassin. And they find out that Gyrocopter BKB is popped. Now they turn it onto the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter takes a lot of damage due to the Eclipse and Lucid Beam. Turn around, final all those Lucid Beams, finishing off that DK. And now this is next Rax going, and this is looking very grim on Blood. They're not out of this game yet, but they need to start working as a group of 5. They were all over the place, and Luna was able to capitalize onto that situation, finds 2 kills of her own. She finds a Shadow Demon out of bat. Shadow Demon gets that disruption off, and those illusions should do a lot of damage, just not to a Luna that's got that living armor up on. And now Luna's coming out. She's found the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's out of position. We have the Nexus Assassin Vendetta into the Impale. Monoburn should follow it up very shortly after. Hookshot in, and we have a very dead, over-aggressive Luna who is out of position. Rubik dying to the tower in the backlines, and now they're going to be working and pushing them back out of the lines. We heard a buyback come from somewhere, and that's a very unusual button for my console to be. So, we do see the buyback of that Dragon Knight. He comes back in and finds that kill. So, nice buyback by the DK to be able to keep his team in this game, trying to keep that farm up and keep the kills rolling in under his favour. But the problem is, we have Luna. She's sitting on 16k gold. That is almost the entire side of Blood Eagles alone. We do look at the gold graph. It's 200, not 200k, 21k in favour of Seraphic Nexus. They're doing fantastic at rolling in this cash. They're nature's profit standard right here. And in this XP, they have 15k advantage as well. Blood Eagles, they can show if any over-aggression or out of positioning comes from Seraphic Nexus, they can find kills. They might have found an Invoker. Invoker throws out the yields. Meatball, great disruption by that Shadow Demon, keeping himself alive. Cooldown's been popped. Invoker needs the cold snap on his way out of it. He does get to that cold snap. He's in a lot of trouble, but they do have enough damage to burst him down. Weaver has popped that BKB. Sakuchi his way out of there. Will they be able to find him? They're looking for him. Drycrop's got to be a little very careful. If Sakuchi comes through, it's going to do a lot of damage. He might turn around. He gets that Gemini proc off. Mana wand is popped, and they do find that kill on that Weaver. Empower playing balls to the wall, pops off that magic wand, and he does survive. If he didn't have that magic wand, he would have been dead. A salve being given to him by Jackal. Great guy, Jackal. They found the Invoker. Invoker's out of position. Cold snaps up that Shadow Demon. Great Empower coming up. They're going to throw that Soul Catcher down, and a lot of damage coming by Empower. So, great hookshot coming in, saving. BKB is pop. Gonna pop up that Lucid Beam and the Clips. It's gonna do a lot of damage. There goes the Clockwork. There goes the Nexus Assassin. Turn around on the DK. DK is gonna take a lot of damage. Cooldown's pop. Gyrocopter's in a lot of trouble. He might come around and try to take this fight on his own. And now support's coming in by Seraphic Nexus. And now Rampage going to that Luna. KQT standing in for Seraphic Nexus. Able to find 5 kills right there and there. Blood Eagles, they thought they had the damage, they thought they had the ability, they caught KQT off guard, but once that BKB was popped and that Manta Eclipse, it was just ridiculous amounts of damage. She is level 23, she is possibly, oh that's current gold, that's kills and deaths, oh come on, yeah, I can't find it. Hero level, number 4. So she is 23, the next highest level is 17. So this Luna, she's playing absolutely fantastic in this game, picking up all the XP and all the gold. And Weaver. Weaver's got PKP. Usually you'd see a Weaver pick up that, you see a Sunstrike coming down, not gonna hit. Random Sunstrike. We have a hookshot, it's gonna whiff on himself. So, but this Luna, she's playing a fantastic style of game. Actually, Seraphic Nexus in general playing fantastic. These supports are always there in these team fights, being able to hold Blood Eagles back and being able to make these trades fantastic. In the meanwhile, Luna she's been farming. She's sitting on 232 creep kills and now is getting solo in this rush. She's now just picked up a butterfly and will be nigh impossible to kill. Well, now with that Aegis, very impossible to kill. We have the Treant Protector walking around. They do know the Treant Protector's around here. As Blood Eagles, however, they are behind. They've still got good ward coverage, watching any rotation coming in. And that's one thing that can be very commanded on Blood Eagles. Even though they are behind and they've lost most of the control of the jungle, they have wards, they have vision, and they're able to still watch rotation coming in from Seraphic Nexus, so they can't be caught out. Down on the mid lane though, we have Invoker being very over-aggressive. We have this, but Invoker's got a lot of damage. Your Scepter's at the wrong time. Shadow Demon's just survived. He's got 61 HP. The Lucid Beam, not Lucid Beam, the Glaive comes through and finds that kill on the Shadow Demon. Now there's a team fight going on. Invoker's going to survive on 140 HP. Gyrocopter will be picked up shortly after. So will that Nyx Assassin. And now she's walking in. She's got her Eclipse up and running. She's going to pop that Eclipse very shortly, and the Eclipse will be popped and she will find that kill onto that Clockwork. Buyback by the Gyrocopter, but I don't see too much being able to be achieved by this. Doesn't have cooldown, does have flat cannon and that rocket barrage. GG's are being very early call of GG coming out by that Luna. maybe a little BM, but it is over. But you wait for the other team to call the GGs, and there we go. GGs by the captain of Jackal. They put up a fight. They put up a challenge. However, Seraphic Nexus, they had the defensive lineup, and they were able to play that to the advantages and allow the Luna to get all the farm in the world she desired. But Nexus, they needed to rotate these support heroes out and about. The Jackal and their fellow support of... what are you? Resonance. These two supports of the Nyx Assassin and that Shadow Demon, they needed to get going. They needed to rotate top and try and shut down the Luna. However, they tried to stay down the bottom. They didn't do too much in favor of shutting down Weaver. I mean, sorry, Weaver didn't get too much farm. However, you didn't find kills on that Weaver. You needed to rotate top, shut down the Luna, who sat top the entire game farming. And this is what happens when you leave that Luna farm the entire game. She gets very, very strong. The glaives will take off your supports in the back line while killing your main carries at the front line. So Seraphic Nexus playing a fantastic game, running their style of play to the fullest, and they will take the advantage, or they will take the game, I should say, and they will be moving up the Cybergamer ladder, taking Blood Eagles 22nd position on the ladder. Blood Eagles will be moving down to 23rd, and Seraphic Nexus shows they are a real contender for the top 15, even top 10 on the Cybergamer ladder. Fantastic play all around, and this Invoker played very, very strong. Invoker was able to hold Blood Eagles off, and as you saw in that fight near the Ancients on the Legion side, there was a Legion. Did I say Legion? I meant Radiant. Oh, I apologize. But they were able to take that fight on the Radiant side, and he basically soloed them with that Meatball, Deafening Blast, Sunstrike. He took on the entire team and got a clean 4 kills. Should have had a Rampage, but didn't quite find it. Anyway, fantastic play by both sides. Seraphic Nexus taking out the game. They were playing that a little bit better, hitting them hard, using their style of that farm, of that Luna. I'd like to say thank you for watching another Dota Yoshi presentation. If you enjoyed my cast, and it does mean a lot if you do follow me on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Dota Yoshi. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, and evening. Thanks for watching.